Hey guys, it's me Kevin and I'm back with another AFL video. This one, I'll be tipping round 9 of the AFL season. So to start off the round, we start on a Wednesday night where Richmond play the Western Bulldogs. There'll be a few unusual nights. I'll be warning you of that. There'll be a few unusual starting rounds. Anyway, I think the Bulldogs will do Richmond because their record is quite tremendous. I think since 2015, they've only lost the one game back in 2018. Apart from that, the Bulldogs have had a pretty good run against Richmond. And, well, okay, Cochin comes back for Richmond, but the Bulldogs get Lloyd and McLean back. I'm more convinced of what the Bulldogs are doing. Look, they did only just beat Gold Coast, but Richmond haven't been all that impressive. Okay, apart from that thrashing against North, they were in a low-scoring drop against Sydney, and the week before against Melbourne, it was hardly any impressive. The Dogs, they also smashed Essendon last time they played a quality opposition. It's apparent to me that they tend to play against quality oppositions far better than lower-ranked sides. So I think the Dogs will overcome Richmond on the Thursday night. Thursday night. I'm used to Friday being the second game. Thursday night at Metricon Stadium, Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide are down on a lot of stats. I can't remember which ones off the top of my head, but I think it was clearances, turnovers, inside 50s. There was a few stats that they were really low on in the last 4 rounds. Melbourne, they haven't been too bad. I mean, they lost to Brisbane by 4 points, but before that, they absolutely slaughtered Hawthorn, and they also had a pretty good game against Gold Coast. Look, Port Adelaide have been on and off in the last few weeks, and I'm going to give Melbourne the benefit of the doubt. It's a bit of a risky tipping the Demons, especially when they play top of the ladder Port, but they came very close to beating Brisbane last week, and I think they'll do the job against Port. On Friday afternoon, this one doesn't need much explanation, at Optus Stadium, Carlton and Hawthorn. Alright, yeah, neutral ground, but at the same time, Hawthorn have just been horrible. There's no other way to put it. They lose to a really inexperienced Sydney side. Carlton haven't been too bad. They smashed the Bulldogs, beat the Kangaroos, and just lost the Power, who are on top. So I think Carlton will get the dub there. Also on Friday night, not very used to saying that, is Essendon and Brisbane at Metricon Stadium. I will be tipping Brisbane. Yes, both teams were quite shaky last week, but Brisbane tend to have a better track record than Essendon, and I'm more convinced about Brisbane's beating quality this year. Essendon, they only just beat the worst team in the comp by 3 points. It got thrashed to the Bulldogs. Look, I'm going to be tipping Brisbane because I think they're the better side, and also it's in Queensland, so you got to go Brisbane. On Saturday afternoon, we finally get to Saturday, halfway through the round. Quite weird. North Melbourne and Adelaide. Oh, I was tossing up between one or the other. They're both equally as bad. They both showed big fights last week, but just lost. I'm tipping North Melbourne for one reason, and that's because Adelaide need to travel to Queensland on the day. That's literally what I'm basing this tip on, is because they're taking a plane. Saturday afternoon at the Gabba, I think. St Kilda and Sydney. I think St Kilda, they've been quite impressive. 2 wins on the road, which they usually don't do. And they return to Queensland. It's a pretty good form. Sydney, they won last week, albeit to a very shocking Hawthorn side. Don't think there's much to write home about for Sydney. I think Saints, more experience. The Saints should do it. And also on Saturday night is the Eagles and Geelong at Optus Stadium. You got to go the Eagles. They were impressive last week. They were playing the brand of football which everyone was predicting them to play at the start of the season. That midfield, they'll be unstoppable. Geelong were pretty crap last week. They only just beat Fremantle. Well, not just. They beat them convincingly, but A score of 48, that doesn't usually win too many games, although this season hasn't been that bad of a score apparently. Says something about the standard of the game. Look, I think Geelong, they don't have a good record at Optus Stadium. The Eagles, if they play the way they played against Collingwood, then I think we're going to see another 60-point thrasher. On Sunday afternoon at Metricon Stadium, Gold Coast and GWS. I'm tipping GWS because I don't know about Gold Coast. It seems like they're in that phase where they just lose. They're going to be playing games and they just lose games. GWS, they're coming off a good win against Richmond, albeit at home. And if you look at the pattern, they win 2, lose 2, win 2, lose 2. So they're due to win their second straight according to that pattern. So I'm going, not for that reason, I just think that Giants more experienced, they should take care of Gold Coast. And lastly, at Optus Stadium, Fremantle versus Collingwood. If they beat Geelong on Monday, I would have been tipping Fremantle, but they couldn't score. It took them till late in the third quarter to score their second goal of the match. So I think we could cross the line through Fremantle and tip Collingwood. As bad as they were last week, Fremantle were even worse than Collingwood. And also Collingwood have better quality. So I think you got to go Collingwood, especially after what Freo served up. And see if the doctors can prove me wrong. Anyway, so to recap my tips, I'm tipping the Western Bulldogs, Melbourne, Carlton, Brisbane, North Melbourne, St Kilda, West Coast, GWS, and Collingwood. Hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment what you think of the video down below. And comment who you're tipping. And also check out some of my other videos. And my opinion on the grand final will be out this week. I'll see you then. Goodbye.